Thank you very much everyone to coming back. I hope that you like this earlier first lecture. And today this is the part 2 that we are discussing about the features of GST. Right. I'll take all the points base लेकिन अंदर जो मटेरियल होगा वो रेलेवेंट होगा और you will going to learn something which is very basic, very fundamental, very new, and which is not mentioned in your textbooks, right? TEXT, where tax is levied, right? So textbooks. So today we are going to learn about the features of goods and services tax. What are the main characteristics or unique features of GST, how GST is working and all these and that, right? As this is a law, we need to understand the basic features. So one by one, we'll discuss. Before that, these 10 points we are going to learn. So first point is only one tax that we have discussed. Tax collected on supply. Okay, GST Council is managing. GST rates are given. Import and GST. What is the impact of import and GST that we know? Input tax credit is available. Something new we'll learn. Tax distribution among state and center, where CGST, SGST and IGST is there. So tax distribution must be there. Tax determination, what about the rate of tax and amount of tax, how to determine that tax we are going to learn. And this 5 GST Act, and let me tell you, this is very wrong, book has shown wrong. GST Act is more than that, we are going to learn. And uniformity, yes, uniformity, whatever is here, same is for Maharashtra, same is for Assam, and same is for now Kashmir also. ठंडी ठंडी हवा जहाँ से आती है वो भी अभी एक जैसा हो गया है, राइट? सो लेट्स लर्न वन बाय वन एंड रिमेंबर इट, राइट? The first is a one tax. You know that many central government tax removed, subsumed. Many now state government tax has removed, and only one tax, it is GST. Yes, apart from GST there are tax. So last time we have already learned these are the tax subsumed of the central government and these are the tax subsumed of state government. Remember all that, right? Right? And many tax are not subsumed. Second point that we are going to learn about collection on supply, right? Tax apply on supply. Supply means anything you are selling, right? When there is a sell, there is a transfer, right? There is a barter. Barter means commodity against commodity, commodities against services, services against commodity, services against services, right? Lease, okay, on rental. Import of services, etc., is considered as what? Supply. And when there is a supply, it attracts what? Goods and services tax. Okay. So whether it is made for consideration will attract what? GST, right? So sale, transfer, barter, lease, import, anything, you name it, GST applies it, right? Second, the manufacture, sale, provision of services means services production and providing will lose their relevance, right? It means whether you have sold or not, but when you have transferred, right, it is considered as what? Supply. And when there is a supply, there is a GST, right? Okay. Now without consideration, for example, you are seller in Ahmedabad and you are manufacturing what? Clothes, right? And you are giving gift to one of your sister who stays in Mumbai mere yaar, right? So you are sending your goods to your sister without consideration. बहन है तो देगी भी नहीं, राइट? आप लेना चाहते हो भी नहीं देगी, मुफ्त में लेगी, ये राखी के दिन तो मुफ्त में ही पूरा लेती है, राइट? So, the consideration will not come. Consideration means rupees नहीं आएंगे, मतलब जितना गया वो गया, मुंबई गया एक बार पार्सल गया, पैसा नहीं आएगा, राइट. सो विदाउट कंसिडरेशन will also attract GST. आ जाओ बहना भर दो अभी, right. Self supply means what? Self supply means you are transferring from Ahmedabad godown to Maharashtra godown. It's your godown. This is your godown, and that is your godown, and you are transferring from that. It will attract what? GST. Okay, that attracts GST. Yes, that attracts GST. Second example of self-supply. For example, your company X, right, and your company Y, right. These are your own company. But when supply from your company to your company, is self-supply or not? Yes, sir, it's self-supply. You are not selling to outside, right? Right? You are the one person. Is a self-supply. It attracts what? GST. Very good. Now even barter में क्या हुआ? मैंने आपको पढ़ा दिया और आपने मुझे मोबाइल दिया, वो बार्टर हो गया, राइट. इट अट्रैक्ट्स व्हाट? गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज टैक्स. लेकिन हम दोनों को नहीं लगेगा, हाँ, मतलब ये लिया होगा तो लगेगा ही, लेकिन हम दोनों को नहीं लगेगा क्योंकि हमारा जो टर्नओवर है इज नॉट qualifying to pay the GST. I hope that you understood. This is the collection of supply. So whatever we are supplying, it is a tax is applicable. I hope that you understood. Second, which is very important part of that collection of supply, is GST is consumption based tax. As I said that consumption based example were given. Suppose you are from Gujarat and you are supplying to Assamese people. So the tax is who is consuming? Assamese people are consuming. So tax is levied by Assam government. It's a consumption based tax. Okay. So origin based tax was which levied on goods and services produced. Origin based tax means earlier the sales tax was origin, right? Suppose the Gujarat is selling goods to Assam people. So Gujarati person has to pay sales tax to Gujarat government. Now this is reverse. Now the Assam government will have the benefit. I hope that you understood. So tax will occur to state where goods and services are ultimately consumed. जो कंज्यूमर होगा उसको पे करना पड़ेगा. Now give me the example. Consumer is equal to customer, right? Does customer is equal to consumer? अरे कहाँ लिख दिया मैंने? ओके, ये कस्टमर है जो कष्ट कर करके मरता है. COSTUMER, customer, and this is consumer, 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 right? The customer and consumer are same or different? They same. No, it's different. They are not same. I know you will say it's same, right? So consumer who consumes the goods and customers who buys the goods. For example, your mama is sick, right? हॉस्पिटल में है और आप दवाई की दुकान में जाते हैं तो आप कस्टमर हो गए, राइट? और वो बाहर जाके पी लेते हैं दवाई. नहीं 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 नहीं, किसको देते हैं? मम्मा को. मम्मा इज कंज्यूमर, वो कंज्यूम करेगी और अच्छी हो जाएगी, राइट? सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कंज्यूमर. दिस इज कंज्यूम्ड. वेर इट इज कंज्यूम्ड इट विल बी लेविड. आई होप दैट यू अंडरस्टूड दिस पॉइंट. नेक्स्ट इज everything about GST is taken care of one council. It is called GST Council. And for more information you can log on the gstcouncil.gov.in. gov गवर्नमेंट की कोई भी साइट होती है ना, उसमें gov.in, it means गवर्नमेंट की साइट है. So on that all the rules, regulations, act and good latest news, rates, everything is mentioned there. right? So this GST is responsible. And who is chairperson of GST? Our finance minister. Who is finance minister? Right now, who is finance minister? Yes, Nirmala Sitharaman, right? Is our finance minister. She is chairperson of GST Council, right? Okay, this we understood. Now, next point is GST rates. At what rate GST is chargeable or applicable? The rate of IGST or GST is nil rated. Nil rated means exempted. No, 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 no. Nil rated is something different. Nil rated means zero rated. It can be next time, next year, it can be 1%. But exempted will be exempted, right? I hope that you understood. Nil rated means zero rated, no tax. 0.25%, 3%, 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. It's a simple tax, See, how many tax rates are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 types. सात समुंदर के पार. इतने types के whatever the commodity that you are selling, whether it falls under 12% or 18% or 5% or 3%, you need to check. The GST rate is given, this GSTN, right, site has, GST Council has provided this rate, and we are going to learn about the various tax rates. So now we are going to learn about the rate which is provided by the GST Council. So rate of GST of goods, you know that I'm showing the PDF format of that document. So let's see what is written in index. Schedule 1, list of goods at nil rate, 1 to 14 pages, nil rated. Schedule 2, 0.25%, 3, 33%, 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. So which goods attract what? So we need to learn here, right? So let's see. The first is the rate of GST which are nil rated. Nil rated means live asses, moles, humans, live ships and goats. The code, this is HSN number, harmonize system of nomenclature, right? This is the heading. So if you apply this, it will come as live ships. So all goods and all the services is given as a heading or the tariff item, right, which is called HSN number. So this, the list I am showing, right, it is a nil rated. It is not exempted. It is nil rated, right? So this is, you can see it, right? Next I will show you the next tax rate. Now list of goods which have a 20.25%. these are the precious metals, right? जो बहुत सारी महंगी चीज होती है, डायमंड फॉरएवर, तो महंगा होता है, right? Precious stones, right? These are the 0.25%. so special 0.25%, 3 items, right? Now 3% again it's applicable to the diamonds which whether work or not, right? So these are the descriptions are given. You have to identify in which category it falls, right? Now this is rate at tax at a 5% rate. So on fish and, right, so on alcoholic beverages, not alcoholic beverages, but you can see this a good list of all fees and everything is attract 5% GST, right? I hope that you can see it, right? Similarly, the list is given and total 100 plus pages are allotted for this coding of these things. Now let's see about the services. This is the rate of services under GST, and I am showing you it's a nil rate. So 2.5% rate is not applicable. 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%, right? So these are the nil rate services. Let's see what is it. Services by way of transfer of going concern as a whole or independent part of thereof, right? So you have to remember in which industry, which company, or which product your company, uh, which product applies to your companies, right? And then you have to find out what you have to find out the rate, right? And this is also a heavy volume, right? You can read it and you can identify whether it falls under the nil rate or 5% or 12% or 18% or 25%, right? So we have seen this tax rate, right, with live example. Next is import and GST. Import means when you are bringing some goods or getting some benefits from the person who is outside India, right? It is considered as what? Import. So in case of import, it is a central share, right? It is a central share, and IGST will be applicable. In case of import of goods, IGST along with custom duty, IGST will be applicable. I hope that you understood this. Next is sixth characteristics or unique feature of GST is it's very important to understand about the ITC. It is called Input Tax Credit. ITC कंपनी का नाम नहीं है जो बिस्किट्स बनाती है, राइट? ये ITC है, Input Tax Credit. When we talk about in this chapter, ITC is not a biscuit company or tobacco company. It is Input Tax Credit. So what is Input Tax Credit, right? So let's learn about Input Tax Credit. For example, I am buying goods worth rupees 100 from you, and I am wholesaler, right? Wholesaler 100, and I have paid, for example, 10 rupees as what? I have paid 10 rupees as GST, right? Now, as a wholesaler, I got this bill, right? I got that this invoice, tax invoice. Now I am supplying to the retailers, right? And I am charging what? 200 rupees, right, from them, on which 10% GST is applicable, 20 rupees. So I will collect what? 20 rupees from this retailer. So I will give him a bill of 220, means bill means here tax invoice 220, right? So now what happens? I have collected what? 20 rupees, but the 10 already I have paid, right? 10 rupees is already I have paid. It means that I have collected 20, but out of which 10 is already I have paid, because when I have purchased, I got a bill of 100 and 10 rupees I have GST paid. So this amount is considered as input tax credit. It means that I have already paid 10 rupees. Now what I need to pay? I have collected 20 rupees and 10 rupees already paid, means ITC. So I will pay what? 20 rupees to government. Sorry, 10 rupees to government, right? I will pay only 10 rupees because 10 rupees already paid, and now I am paying 20 rupees. And what I have collected? 20, right? 20 I have collected and I will give to government. It means that 20 the wholesaler, other party will give, and 10 rupees 10 other party will give, and 10 rupees I will give. So total tax is 20, right? Total tax is 20 and 10 rupees already paid, so 10 rupees to be paid. This is nothing but input tax credit. So when we see the working model of GST, at that time we'll learn in detail, right? So right now this is enough discussion. So this 10 rupees is input tax credit. So whatever paid, for example, ITC is 8 rupees. So I need to pay what? 12 rupees, right? I hope that you understood this. Now tax distribution, you know that when there is a intrastate transactions, means state to within the state, it is clearly written that as GST, state government part, and central government part is mentioned, and it is always same. It is suppose 12%, so 6% and 6% is the tax distribution. So when in case of IGST, integrated goods and service tax is applied when interstate transaction means Rajasthan to Maharashtra, Maharashtra to Gujarat, right? Then you know the one tax is applied, IGST, integrated goods and service tax, and this is also a half, right? Suppose I am giving the Gujarat person, a Gujarat people is sending goods to Maharashtra. So, and tax is applicable, for example, 12%. So, 6% Maharashtra GST, state GST, and 6% CGST. Central will take 6% and Maharashtra, because Gujarat people has produced, but who is user, consumer is Maharashtra. I hope that you understood this. So tax distribution is always right now 50-50 Britannia ke jaise, right? I hope you understood this, right? Now most important part that we are going to learn is the tax determination. We know that tax rate we know, but how this tax is determined, right? And I have already shown 2 PDF where harmonized system of nomenclature HSN code is mentioned, right? And you can rewind it, and when I saw that PDF format, it is written, and near that PDF format descriptions were mentioned, right? So it is classified the goods under the GST, and code is provided so that you can understand it, what rate it is applied, right? Now most important thing is tax is determined on the basis of time, place and value of supply. Time, place and value of supply, what is that? Let's learn, right? So GST payable as per time of supply, right? So GST I have to pay this month or next month, right? Is based on the time of supply. So time of supply is very important component, and let me explain this in detail. So let's understand time of supply deeply, right? Basic. So whatever the earlier date will be time of supply, right? These are the 4 statements, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever the earlier date. The first is removal of the goods. Removal of the goods from my godown to your godown. If I am supplying this, I have to remove these goods and supply to your godown. This is removal of goods. It means that I have not received amount. I have not made any invoice, right? Directly I am sending to you. So first is removal of supply. It means that when removal supply date is first, it is considered as time of supply, right? And I may send these goods or making, I am receiving payment in the next month, or I may prepare in the next month, right, invoice, but I have to pay GST in this month only because I have removed the goods. Second is receipt of payment. I have not sent the goods or not made the invoice, but you have given order and you have given me the full amount as an advance. So when I received advance, it is time of supply. In the same month, for example, I have received in the month of May, right, this payment received, and I will be sending goods in a June or July, maybe 2-3 months after, right? So then in the in a month of May, I have to pay GST, right? Because this is the first day, right? Date of invoice. I have not sent any goods. I have not received any amount, but I am making in the entry in the books of account. It means that I am making the voucher, invoice. If invoice I made and nothing is that, the date of invoice will be time of supply. And last one is very, very important to understand. When buyer shows that receipt of goods, now tell me, the day 3 is perfectly right or not? I mean that any date cannot be later than this, right? When buyer shows, matlab, example, I am here, I am here and you are from Ahmedabad, right? So when I am supplying you goods, so my removal date will be earlier, so I have to pay GST. But here, on the contrary, I am saying that when you say, right, okay, I have received the goods, then I have to pay tax. Now tell me, without sending, how can you receive this? So this fourth can be removed. Yes, no, we cannot remove. Why? Let me tell you one thing, right? It is not always I am sending the goods, but I am instructing Mr. X who is staying in Ahmedabad. Okay, I am saying that, okay, I will give you later on, but supply goods to you. So I have not prepared or removed goods. I have not received any good or payment. I have not made any receipt, but I have instructed you and you are giving. And later on, I will pay you, right? So this person means you will say that I have received your goods. It means that I have to pay GST in that month, right? This may be in the month of March, April, May, our transactions may settle, but this is time of supply. So whichever is the date is early, it will be considered as time of supply. I hope you understood this, right? The time of supply. In services, except the first thing, a receipt of payment, date of invoice, and when buyer shows that receive the goods, it is a time of supply. So except one, removal of goods नहीं आएगा, बाद का 2, 3, 4 वो points यहाँ आ जाएंगे. So next is determining the place of supply, whether you should pay GST, IGST or SGST. Based on what? Based on place of supply. You know that if it is interstate, then IGST is applicable. If it is intrastate, SGST and CGST is applicable. I hope that. So what is the place of supply? So delivery location of the recipient, right? I am sending you goods where you are staying. That location itself is considered as place of supply. But in case of services, you know, there are complications in case of services. So place of supply, I am providing this, for example, the lecture here, and suppose I am charging from you, right, and you are staying at Delhi, right? So whether I have to charge CGST, SGST or IGST, right? So there are many things. Suppose you are staying there, right? So I have to charge what? If I am sending bill to you in a Mumbai, so I have to charge IGST. But same thing if it is from the Gujarati person staying in Gujarat, so I will charge CGST, SGST, right? I hope that you understood. But there are many things that we need to remember here. Next is the valuation of GST. What the value is. Suppose 12% is the rate of GST. On what amount I have to apply 12%, right? This is important. So what will be the X, right? So actually, whatever the price that we are charged or paid or payable, right? Whatever the price paid or payable, in which suppose subsidy is received, so we have to add subsidy. For example, I have charged 1,20,000 for solar panel, and 20,000 is subsidy. I am not charging with you, but this is the original value 1,40,000. On 1,40,000, I have to pay what? 12% GST. But if I am giving discount before I am making this tax invoice, so on 1,30,000 I have to pay 12%, right? I hope that you understood this valuation of GST. So on certain value, 12%, 5%, 0.25% will be applicable. In that, this kind of revenue, subsidy, etc., or incentives will be added back, and discount, which are genuine before or at the time of supply, we have to deduct it. Ninth point, वाह 10 out of 9, 9th out of 10 point हम देख गए उसमें 5 GST Act. Let me tell you, this is very wrong. GST Act more than that, right? So there are 33 GST laws in India. Oh my God, we called it one tax, one nation. And what I'm saying, NATION, what I'm saying, 33 GST laws. What are that? First is IGST, 2 UTGST, and remaining 30 SGST. Total 33 laws are there, right? Every state has different law or GST Act, but let me tell you, everything is same. It means that whatever written here, same is written here, only the name of state, and whether it is state, then state is used, otherwise union territory is used. It means this is one and same. And IGST is there, which is a very comprehensive tax laws, right? And these are the one and same, right? Only name has changed, right? I hope that you understood. And there are one more for a temporary purpose. GST, State Compensation Act is provided, and why, that we have already discussed. So there are 33 laws plus GST Compensation Act are there. So it is not one tax rate, but there are 33 rates, but similar, that's why we call it one, and this is really one. Next is यूनिफॉर्मिटी, लास्ट पड़ाव पे आ गए भैया, डोंट बोर, हाँ बोर मत होना. यूनिफॉर्मिटी, यूनिफॉर्मिटी एज आई सेड दैट देर आर 33 लॉज, राइट? 33 मतलब GST, स्टेट GST, okay. Maharashtra has own, Rajasthan has, our Gujarat has own, right? But it is a same. Maharashtra is equal to this. Uniformity. Everything is, whatever the, for example, on egg, suppose tax rate 5% in Gujarat, 5% in Maharashtra, and 5% in Kashmir. Okay, right? So this is uniformity. Whatever applies in Gujarat, it applies in Maharashtra, it applies in other states also, and that's why this is called uniformity. This was the last. It means the GST is uniform across the India. I hope that you understood these 10 points in a detail. So thank you very much for watching. Keep smiling, keep learning. ऑलवेज अपना मुंह 10-10 जैसा रखो. डोंट कीप योर मुंह ऐसा ऐसा मत रखो, राइट? 440 मत रखो, ये 440 वाला है. 4:40 होती है ना, तो ऐसा होता है. लेकिन ये 1:10 पे ऐसा होता है, 110. 440 मत रखना, मतलब हंसते रहना, हंसाते रहना. Don't get bored and sad, right? So keep smiling and keep watching. So thank you very much for watching this video.